I also see the 3, 2, 1 over here.
I do not.
Yeah, so you don't have to count. Peek behind the curtain. Hi, friends. How are you? It's the nerds that know. You might notice that we're short a couple. The Duchess and the Kaiser not feeling hot, so they have decided to rest up for the evening. So you're stuck with 2 members of the Goon Squad. My name is Matt. I'm the king of the goons, and I guess I'm running this shit show. Helping me, right? And helping me out, as always, the other stalwart, holding down the fort, Extreme Southern Command, the owner and proprietor of Knox Nostalgic Collectibles. You know him. You love him. His name is Tank. What is up?
Hello, everybody.
How you doing, buddy?
Hope you're all having a nice week.
Right.
I'm doing pretty good. Everyone's sick in my house, but I'm doing pretty good.
For the weekend, it's just me and the dog. Sarah's on a girls' trip. She left this morning. I know.
Fun.
Right?
So we're going to see Ghost Dog today or what?
Maybe. There might be a ghost dog. He's already had dinner, though, and I think he's laying down. So
okay.
We'll see. Mom's not here to get him all agitated. So there may be a ghost dog sighting. I don't know. We'll find out. If you want to see Ghost Dog Rocky as a Paw Patrol character, make sure you check out my TikTok at King Goon Smoke.
You killed Rocky?
No, he's a Paw Patrol.
I know who Rocky is from Paw Patrol. Why are you saying Ghost Dog though?
Well, because you said Ghost Dog. Like he pops up and he's a ghost. Well, the real Rocky, there's a Paw Patrol filter on TikTok.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. There's a Paw Patrol and a dog or a pet Muppet filter. So I put both of those up with Rocky. The Paw Patrol one is really cool. The Muppet one, he looks like a weird boar, like a pig. It's awful.
Doesn't look like a bulldog anymore.
No, he doesn't. I don't know what the hell he is, but he's the Paw Patrol one's super cute. So there you go, check that out. That's all right. Well, let's get into it. Probably won't be a super long episode, so stick with us. We'll entertain you. We'll educate you, hopefully, and maybe give you a few laughs along the way. Tank, are you up on Secret Invasion?
All the way through yesterday's episode.
Oh, and I have not seen yesterday. So those of you in nerddom may know I always wait till after we go live on Nerds, and I always catch Secret Invasion / Strange New Worlds back to back. That's my evening watching. So we can talk about last week because we are 7 days past.
There we go.
I kind of get the feeling here, Tank, that we're watching the end of Nick Fury.
It seems to be heading in that direction. Not necessarily him dying, but him no longer being part of the story.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're going to kill him. They did kill one person already, and that was pretty... Well, actually, they killed a couple people.
Yeah. They have killed...
I don't think they're going to kill Fury, but I think you're right. I think this is a way of them... His final, stand, his last stand as the leader.
Yeah, as the brains behind the effort, as it were.
Yeah, the man on the moon.
Yep, the man on the moon. That's him. I'm really enjoying what we've seen so far. Lots of twists and turns. Totally didn't expect to see a family, at least one person family for Nick Fury.
Yeah, how interesting.
Right, and who it was. Right, and then there was another twist regarding that person last week. So always Marvel keeping us on our toes.
Yeah, that was, and we were told, and I don't know how connected the stories actually are, but we were told that he had a wife. He said he had a wife way back in the Winter Soldier days.
Oh, that's right.
So my wife kicked me out. So apparently he wasn't completely lying. He did actually have a wife.
Yeah. Just not who we were expecting.
Yeah, not even close. Didn't think there was one to begin with, and then definitely did not expect it to. I mean, we could say it. It's a week out here.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He's married to a Skrull. He married it to, what was her name? Fuck. Her name, her human name is Priscilla, but I don't remember her Skrull name. But yeah, he's married to a Skrull. And nobody knew that, apparently. So...
Right. And she's in a house all by herself. Apparently he had been gone for years. She wasn't surprised to see him. Made him put on a wedding ring. It was like, oh, you're back. How are you? Good to see
Yeah,
you.
he disappeared after the blip and apparently just never came home.
Yeah. And more of that kind of interesting deep dive into the psychology around the blip and those who came back and those who never left. And that part of that universe's story is being woven into, I think, everything that we're seeing so far ever since the blip, which I think is kind of cool. It gives a little bit of continuity, gives it a little bit of a base almost to work from. So you kind of know, even though you know you're in the same universe, you know you're in the same universe because they still.
And it's needed. It is needed information because a big chunk of what we're dealing with at this point is kind of the fallout of that. That was like they keep tying it back to the initial problem with the structure of the universe was that there was 3 snaps fairly close together, and that may have destabilized part of the universe, and then everything that follows that also adds to that.
Yep. Oh, you know what? You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to get my phone because you never know when Triffin's going to text us. So, why don't we move on to the Ahsoka trailer? You share your thoughts, and I'll be back in 8 seconds.
Yeah, we got I guess this would be the trailer number 2 for Ahsoka, and they are putting a lot on this plate, but it looks like it's going to be fun. They give us our first real presentation for Thrawn, which is huge, and they give us more about Sabine and what's been going on with Ahsoka ever since Order 66 happened, and everyone she knew basically got killed or turned into Darth Vader,
right?
And the fallout from that.
And it's also filling in the gaps after the end of Rebels.
Yeah, true. Which if you haven't followed Rebels before you watch Ahsoka, just give it a quick once over. You don't necessarily have to watch all of it, but get an idea of what's happening during Rebels, because there is a lot of information that comes out in Rebels about what happened to the Jedi and not Jedi, because she doesn't count herself as one. Right. But everything that happened to those people that went missing essentially after Order 66.
Yeah. And I would say if you're going to watch anything with Rebels, just watch the last season.
That's probably the biggest part. Yeah. And that'll get you up to date with a lot of interesting things that they kind of leaned into during this trailer.
Right. And there's something that no one's really touched on yet, and it's a rumor at this point, but I heard a rumor that in addition, because part of the Rebels, especially the last season, you get quite a bit of Captain Rex, and there's a rumor that Rex shows up in Ahsoka, and I couldn't be more thrilled to get more Temuera Morrison, because I think that would just be
because when they just bring him back,
big white beard,
to play Rex, wow.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, that would be cool. Actually, I'm all for that. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, right. Give me Temuera as Rex, man. That'd be bloody brilliant. I'm excited to see Thrawn as doing his thing, like the images we've seen, and we've heard his voice once on a trailer. So that's there, but I'm really excited to see what they do with it. And it's almost a sequel to Rebels, because you can just tell that Ezra is a big part of it. Hera and Sabine. There's gonna be some Mandalorian shit, which is always good. Just looking forward to see how they kind of play it all out. Plus, isn't this the last part that Ray Stevenson played before he passed? Because we just lost him like a month and a half ago, right?
I believe so, but I can't 100% confirm that. I believe that is the last thing, though.
Yeah. So, noted and very popular genre actor Ray Stevenson passed away suddenly. Just I can say like 5-6 weeks
ago. It wasn't very long ago.
Yeah, and he's that man's done everything. He's done gladiator movies, he's done science fiction, he's done pirates, he's done
everything,
bloody everything. So the guy's just a great character actor, and he looks brilliant in this too. Yeah, so check out Ahsoka. It's coming out next month, August 23rd. So there is a Wonka prequel. I don't know how I think about this.
I'm not as against it as I thought I was going to be. I'm a little bit of a purist, I guess. But they seem to have a story that they really want to tell that isn't incredibly obvious about why Willy Wonka became a chocolatier or chocolatour or whatever you call that.
Okay. Chocolatier, yeah. He's not a provocateur.
Yeah, he's a provocateur. Well, he might be a provocateur. We don't know yet. But
oh, wait, we're hearing from Triffin. See, I told you. He says the only thing that matters. I'm not reading that text yet, Triffin, because we're going to get there. I'm not going to. He agrees with something we said about Marvel. And he says, I agree with Tank, and then gives no context.
Gotcha.
So I'm assuming he's talking about Wonka.
Potentially, yes.
Right.
But Timothée Chalamet seems to be a good choice for what the story they're trying to tell, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's where I disagree. I don't know if he is the right choice. He's hot, like from a property standpoint, like he's the big deal right now, you know, with Dune and Dune 2 coming, and a lot of the stuff that he's doing. He's obviously extraordinarily popular. I don't know. There's just not a depth there. I think like a Wonka prequel should have a little bit more gravitas, and I don't see that from him in this trailer. Now it may show up, right? Who knows? But what we got was more whimsy and lighthearted, a little touch of insanity, but not. I want to make, you know what I want is I want Gene Wilder, and I want Johnny Depp, and I want somebody to play both. That's what I want. I want someone to kind of take something from both sides and, you know, be Tim Burton crazy and also say, you lose, sir. Good day. Right.
He's not, I know what you're saying. He's not as dark as you got with either one of those, to be honest. They're very much leaning into the more whimsical, mystical aspects of Willy Wonka. I actually did laugh at the Oompa Loompa thing, though. That made me crack up.
Yeah.
Please
the
don't
trailers
do that.
out there. We're not doing anything. Yeah.
Sorry, once I start going, I can't stop.
Yeah, right. Hugh Grant as the original Oompa Loompa. It's pretty good. So that is good. I don't know. I don't know that I'm gonna see this in the theaters, but I'll wait to see what service it comes out.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is not gonna be a theater movie for me. But I will definitely give it a shot because they've got me intrigued enough to where I'm like, okay, it looks like they have an interesting story to potentially tell here.
Sure, sure. And the basis of the trailer is the start of Wonka as a chocolatier, and he has to go against the oligarchs of the chocolate industry. And you know, it's set in an appropriate era. You know, you kind of get that almost Victorian feel to it. So it's got its good points, its bad points. Like I said, it maybe Chalamet is going to be awesome in it, but from what I saw in the trailer, I think it was just a little bit too lighthearted, and I just needed a little bit more depth. But who knows? Yeah, who knows? All right. Strange New Worlds. One of the best things that Star Trek has done in a very long time. And it's right up there with Lower Decks. Lower Decks is
that
awesome.
One's ridiculous. But
it's ridiculous, but it's awesome. Like, it's so good. It's so off the wall. It's shit they can only do in a cartoon.
True.
But it's also track. Like, it's amazing. But Strange New Worlds, you know, the return to the episodic storytelling nature of the original series. You get, you know, the stories of the original, the pre-Kirk Enterprise. Tank, are you keeping up on this? Have you seen it?
I've only seen the first episode of this season.
Okay.
But it is currently my favorite Star Trek property. I love the stories that they're telling.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah, Deep Space Nine is still number one for me, but Brave New Worlds or Strange New Worlds is definitely climbing the list. And they're still not afraid to touch on Roddenberry-like stories. Like Roddenberry was all about pushing limits and testing societal norms. And there was this. You haven't obviously seen it. You've seen number one. I think it's the second or third episode. But they resolve. Yeah, this season. So they resolve the storyline around number one, and the way they do it really it makes me think of the 1992 Next Generation episode Outcast, the trans episode, basically, which was 32 years ahead of its time.
A little bit.
And going back to TNG, that's one of the few episodes, because I mean that shit's 30 plus years old. It's one of the few episodes I actually physically can remember the whole thing in the episode. Like I know the whole story, and someone says, "Oh, you remember the episode where this, that?" Oh yeah, I do remember that. But I can always come up with Outcast because it was so good, right? It was, and now if you go back and watch it now, holy shit, right? It's so far.
Oh yeah. Well, most of Star Trek, like you said, they really push the boundaries of societal norms for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. But there's a bit, the most recent episode, they're at Rigel 7. Google Rigel 6 and Rigel 7 after you watch the episode, and you'll actually see some threads that have been intertwined in Trek about stuff that's happened around those two planets, and they actually make it make sense. It's awesome. Really good. Some Prime Directive stuff. It's really cool. Yeah, the most recent episode, or the last week's episode, was badass.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Then
really good. It's a really good exploration of how memory helps you become who you are, and revenge is a part of it, and how rote memory even it helps define who you are, and it's really cool. Ortegas absolutely shines at the end of the episode, and I love Ortegas. She's the pilot. She's so cool. And she is so badass at the end of this episode that it's amazing. So
cool.
Yeah, make sure you watch Strange New Worlds. All right, Witcher. I am 2 episodes in. I was telling Tank before that the last 2 seasons of Witcher came out, and I binged them both, and I was sad because it was over. So I'm forcing myself to slow down and watching 1 episode a week to make it last, because it's so good. It's so good. Have you watched any
Not
of this
the seasons yet? No. Right. I'm actually planning on doing that this weekend a little bit.
Yeah. Creepy, magic, monsters, swords, gore, a lot of interpersonal and the interplay between Yennefer and Geralt, more political intrigue. Graham McTavish is awesome. Everything that guy does is just bloody brilliant. Most recent episode he was just so good, and he only had like 10 lines. It's like, Jesus Christ, this guy just underused. But it's also the final season of Henry Cavill, so it'll be interesting to see how they play that out.
Do you think that they're going to do anything at the end of the season to make that transfer?
Yes. I'm envisioning, and it's not going to happen like this exactly, but I'm envisioning a Doctor Who-like transition. I'm not saying he's going to regenerate, but there's going to be something to pass the torch.
That'd be interesting.
I don't think that they can actually just roll into Geralt 2.0 and just say, same guy. No, bitch, it's not. Not the same
I wonder if that's what they're going to do, is transition the character.
Yeah. Now, I never played the games. Is there a on-screen precedent for something like that?
Not in my memory banks. I don't think so.
Okay.
That's why it's kind of weird that they may,
right.
I don't know, maybe doing something. I have no idea.
Right. That's like I said, that's what I want them to do because I think it would be because there's a lot of people who are upset
Oh yeah,
about the transition, right? And it's Cavill's choice.
yeah, he stepped
People
away.
still don't understand that. Yeah, he stepped away. So, but they're still upset. And nerd rage is real, right?
Real and constant.
But, yeah, we got to be mad about something. Give me my good stories. Speaking of good stories, a bit of news came out that actually wasn't new, unless that it's new unless you're my age. So if you remember the movie Clue, which was absolutely brilliant in the late 80s, the story based on the board game, with Tim Curry just chewing scenery every chance he got,
every single second
as the
of it.
butler.
Yep.
Right. Oh, and Triffin says he was mad that they were changing the lore. That's why Henry Cavill left. That's his opinion. So.
Really?
Yeah, somebody chip in. Yep. We'll have to look into that, Triff. I'll see. I'll dig and find out. So when they originally released Clue in the theaters, there were 3 different endings released, and it wasn't in the same cut.
Nope.
So depending on what theater, what time, whatever, nobody really knew what the
real ending is.
The spread was. But they said there were different endings. Ended up being 3. The home video release on VHS, which I'm sure still exists at Central Command somewhere.
I know I have one here somewhere.
Yeah, right. That has all 3 official endings.
Yeah.
And the running joke with the red herring is just so good. That's that's one of my favorite gags. But there was a 4th ending shot. And it was talked about when the home release came out, and then Tim Curry talked about it again. So this is news to a lot of folks. There is a 4th ending where it wasn't Mrs. White, it wasn't Colonel Mustard, and it wasn't Mrs. Black. It was the butler did it. And yeah, the butler did it, and the butler killed everybody.
Not just the people that were already dead. Everyone.
Yeah, everybody.
Mass murder stuff.
Yeah. Tim Curry killed everybody, which would have been good. But they tested it, and it was just too dark for the way the lighthearted movie was at the time. I mean, this is the late 80s, right?
Yeah.
It was all, sunshiny unicorn farts. So it just didn't test well. I'm glad at the time they didn't do it. I'd love to see it.
Oh, God, yeah. They should release that cut 100%.
Right. Let's see. If you thought that's what happened, this is what happened. You thought that's what happened.
They shot it.
And then they go into the 4th one. Oh, it's shot. It's somewhere.
It exists somewhere in the nether realm. A cut where,
yeah,
there's just a mass killing spree at the end. And I mean, that's an interesting way to end that, is that he kills everyone.
Mm-hmm. That would have been awesome.
But yeah, that was kind of cool that they kind of let that be actually known to the public. That that there actually is a cut of this movie where it ends with Tim Curry killing everybody. It's just not as funny.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Which, I don't know. I guess it depends on your definition of funny, but
I think it would be hilarious. Why not?
Especially if he does it all cartoony, like,
right.
He sets up traps and stuff. That'd be fantastic.
Right. Yeah. If it's just a slasher film, then that's not as interesting. But yeah, if
they actually have him like lead pipe someone to death,
Yeah, that'd be right. Like a candlestick swings from the
stab someone in the chest. Yeah, like
right. Get shot. Whatever. He uses every
all the different
object.
Weapons.
Yeah, all the different objects.
That would make it fun.
One for everybody. Right. All right. Moving on. Looks like James Cameron is working on not just a sequel to Alita Battle Angel, but multiple sequels, because he said the word films
he did.
In an interview.
This dude seems to not take breaks.
No. He's the business.
Because isn't he working on, like, actively working on still the 2 Avatar sequels, 3 and 4?
Yes. He absolutely is. The interview, which we read, credit to our friends at Giant Robot. He's selling his California ranch and is going to Austin He said they're working on Avatar in Wellington and Los Angeles, and on the new Alita Battle Angel films, I'll be working in Austin, so it just didn't make sense for us anymore, referring to his coastal California ranch. So 8,000 square foot home, he sold it, but he did say films.
Yeah.
So
films.
Yeah.
Definitely said films, which makes it interesting. Like, okay. Because he didn't initially put forward that it was going to be multiple things, but maybe a slip of the tongue there during the live interview.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and we could be reading a whole lot into it because he didn't expand on the point. He was just saying films. So who knows? That'd be cool. Alita, and I was telling Tank before we went live, Alita is worth a watch. Good story, good premise. A little bit dark, a little bit dystopian, kind of that Real Steel vibe almost. Good aesthetic. I enjoyed it the one time I saw it. So it'd be fun to watch more about Alita in that kind of roller derby style storytelling that they did.
And the way that you explained it to me, because I have not seen Alita Battle Angel, I don't know anything about that character really. But the way you explained it made me kind of interested in seeing it and see how it plays out. Yeah. And apparently the upcoming, because he's not going to be directing. James Cameron's not directing, he's writing and producing.
Right.
And the director is going to be Robert Rodriguez. So that's a good selling point for me because that guy is wild.
Yeah.
So
he is. I love everything that he does.
He does wild movies.
Yeah.
And they don't always hit 100%, but they at least give you that dark humor that you know that he's going to give you. Yeah,
right. First, because I was aware of his work, but the first time I actually became a fan of his was Grindhouse. Some of that stuff was just so over the top, wacky, violent, gory, just outstanding.
Planet Terror, yeah.
Planet Terror, right.
That was a wild movie.
Stunt car. Yeah, good stuff. So yeah, more to come with Alita Battle Angels Parts 2 and beyond.
Yes.
We've got a health update on Morgan Freeman. Looks like he's got himself a bit of an infection and a fever, so he's not touring to promote his latest effort, which is a Paramount Plus thriller around spies.
Yeah, has something to do with the CIA, seemingly.
Yep. Oh, back to Clue. Triffin says it's only interesting if Bruce Campbell played the butler.
I don't think it would have been as good, actually.
No,
I love Bruce Campbell, but Tim Curry did an amazing
Tim
job.
Curry, he was perfect. He was absolutely perfect. So we disagree, Trev. There you go.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm a huge fan of Bruce, but Tim Curry did such an amazing job doing that. I don't know.
Did you ever see Imhotep?
Maybe. It sounds familiar.
With Bruce Campbell, he plays Elvis in a nursing home.
Oh God, yes, I do remember that now. Yeah,
that's such a good movie, and I think like 6 people saw it. And we might be 2 of them.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see it when it came out. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, Bubba Hotep. Triffin called me out. It's Bubba Hotep. Yeah, it's not Imhotep. It's Bubba Hotep. You're right.
Imhotep is the dude from Egypt.
Yeah.
But once you mentioned the
Elvis at a nursing home.
Yeah. Then I remembered.
Right. All right. So Morgan Freeman resting comfortably. We wish him all the best. Carry on, my good sir, and watch out for. I forgot the name of the show. Bad job by me. It's going to be on Paramount Plus. It is a CIA spy thriller, and it is called Special Ops Lioness.
Yes, that's what it is.
There you go. So rest up, good sir. Hope to see you soon. All right. So I mentioned that Triffin had texted about something that the only thing that was important in Marvel right now, and that's what we're going to touch on next. We have still images from Deadpool 3. And by God, Tank, they did it.
This looks like it's going to be crazy.
They put Wolverine in yellow.
Yeah. They gave us
Hell
finally.
gave us Wolverine in yellow.
Yeah, got the full blue and yellow and blue costume.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, finally.
Mm-hmm.
And also that makes it an alternative Earth Wolverine. Because one of the
Oh yeah, right. Right.
what was that?
Would it be an alternate Earth or would it be time travel?
I think
And
it's
they just
alternative
he
Earth.
you think okay
Because they
because he still has the watch.
yes, but they've made it some I mean, I guess they could go back on what they were saying, but they've made it somewhat clear, both Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman, that their characters died. The ones that were in X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men 3, all those movies, those guys died in Logan.
Right.
That was the end of them. They are no longer
Right.
there. And so I think the Professor X we got in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I think that's that Wolverine.
Yeah, you might be right.
I think that's what that is.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Because that's also cartoon appropriate.
Yep. So I think that is that Wolverine, and that's the character we're getting in Deadpool.
Yep. We know very little about what else is coming in terms of this movie besides, Yukio and Teenage Negasonic Warhead are back.
Yeah, and so is Colossus.
Yeah, Colossus is back.
And we have one so far confirmed and about 100 potentials. And the one confirmed at this point is Jennifer Garner reprising her role as Elektra.
So we're definitely on a different planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, or a different universe.
Yeah, there's some sort of alternate universe something happening.
Okay.
I really hope they go balls to the wall.
Do you think this is Deadpool Kills Universe?
I think it is. I think we're getting two Deadpools, one that's killing everybody and one that's trying to hunt that killer down.
Okay, yeah. If you don't know, Deadpool Kills Universe was a short run of comics where he literally just went through and killed everybody.
Yeah, it's this alternate version of Deadpool who knows that nothing's real, kills everyone.
Right. And there were different books like Deadpool Kills the X-Men, Deadpool Kills Deadpool Kills the Hulk. I mean, kills the Avengers, all of it. So I kind of hope they go that way because that would be a riot.
Well, and it would make sense because the original Kevin Feige was a producer on the original X-Men movies. Mm-hmm. And he was a producer on, I believe, the Spider-Man also, the Tobey Maguire run.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how much impact he had on the other. I think he was also there for the Fantastic Four. The ones without Michael B. Jordan. With Chris Evans as the Human Torch, which, God, part of me really hopes they bring everyone back just to get killed.
Just kill off everybody.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Like they kill off all of the crap and then this is the reboot.
Yeah, like they haven't, because there was also kind of a wink that Halle Berry may be coming back as Storm,
right?
Through her own Twitter or Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember, one of those two. There's a picture of her with white hair again, and kind of a wink and nod that maybe she's coming back as Storm. And that would be fantastic if they literally brought everyone back that they could, just for this alternate version of Deadpool to be icing everybody.
That would, and he kills Famke Janssen as Jean Grey.
Oh yeah.
That would make me sad but happy all at the same time.
Yeah.
Like just flush all of that and they just write it out that way. What a way to do it. That would be fun.
Oh, and it makes sense. It has a certain poetry to it, considering Kevin Feige's relationship to that content and who he is now. It kind of would be poetic for him to be like, all right, we have to kill everybody.
Yep.
For this to restart, we have to get rid of everyone.
Yeah. Interesting. I dig it. All right. Let's all cross our fingers and hope for Deadpool kills universe in Deadpool 3.
I'd be happy with it.
All right, moving on. There is a streak ongoing, Tank, regarding James Gunn movies and Nathan Fillion. So every movie that James Gunn has ever done, he casts Nathan Fillion as in some role somewhere in that movie, and it's gone back 17 years.
Yep.
And the streak continues.
Yep. He is going to be cast, or has been cast at this point, as the Guy Gardner variant of Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner is... to put him in perspective is hard. He has some anger problems, and when he becomes the Green Lantern, that becomes an issue. Because instead of acting heroically, he does not shy away from just killing people. And eventually becomes the Red Lantern. Because he uses, instead of hope, he uses anger and rage to reinforce his power.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting, because Guy Gardner would not be the one that I would assume they'd go with. You know, I figured it was going to be Stewart, or it was going to be the one that Ryan Reynolds fucked up.
Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan, yeah. I figured it was going to be one of them to be the start.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice.
Yeah, for them to go with Guy Gardner is an interesting way to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
And, let's see if Nathan Fillion can do that. That seems weird for him, but...
he can do dark.
Can he?
Yeah, I think he can. I think he can. I mean, he's always been, I shouldn't say always, but we always perceive him as being, light and whimsical. And, whether it's Firefly or Cade 6 or The Rookie or whatever it is that he does, I think he can do dark. I think he's got that range.
I hope so, because to really get Guy Gardner, I guess they don't have to go 100% accuracy for the comic books. But he is a very rage-filled individual.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right. And we should point out, I don't know if I touched on it, but this is a casting for the Superman Legacy movie.
Yes.
The new DCEU that James Gunn is directing for Warner Brothers. So we're going to get a new Superman, in a world where there are already established heroes. So it's not going to be an origin story. We know that there's going to be a Hawk Girl and a Mr. Terrific as well in the movie.
Yeah, Isabella Merced is playing Hawk Girl. Which, the only thing I know of that she did was, didn't she do that Dora movie?
You would know far better than I.
I think she was Dora in the when they did the live action Dora movie.
I have no
which
idea.
is wild.
Who was live action Dora? Here we go. Google's a wonderful thing. Isabella Moner. There you go.
It's not Merced. Did she get married? Maybe
that's who did it. Let's see. Let's go back to the article. Typing. Things are happening.
Yes, it is her. It's the same person.
The same person.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. There it is. Picture on the article of her with a map, and then
that's why I was just scrolling through the thing to look at it.
Wearing a backpack and holding a map. Hola, soy Dora.
Yeah, and which is interesting because it's Hawk Girl without Hawkman, and we last saw Hawkman in Black Adam. So I'm wondering if it's the same one that they would end up, that they're supposed to be together. That's kind of their story, is that they're constantly finding each other and then being separated forcefully.
Right.
Usually by death of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if they're going to be playing with that also, because seemingly they kind of wrote off Black Adam. So I don't know if that's going to be a
sure.
thing
Well,
or
I mean,
not.
they flushed it, right? And I still haven't seen Flash. I'm waiting for it to come out on Max because I refuse to spend any additional money to support that weirdo. But I'm sure that there's something at the end of that kind of answers some of those questions, because it's Flashpoint. Shit's going to change. We all know it already.
Yeah.
Not spoiling.
And then we're
getting.
I haven't seen it either, but I've heard it's not great. But
I have also heard it's not great.
That could just be. Oh God, no, because they said Black Adam wasn't great, and I actually watched that, and it wasn't. So I don't know.
I don't know. I let it come out on Max. I saw it on Max, and it was okay. I mean, all right.
It wasn't the story we wanted.
No, and The Rock was fun. Whatever.
And then we're getting Eddie Gathegi, I believe is how you pronounce his name, playing Mr. Terrific.
Yep. I like him a lot. He is a very underrated actor in the genre. He's done quite a few things, and his big thing apparently is Twilight, and I never watched any of them, but I've seen him do a bunch of other stuff, and I like him a lot.
Yeah, same here. I've seen him do other stuff, and Mr. Terrific, that is a big pull, and I love that. If you don't know about Mr. Terrific, give it a look. He is one of the smartest men in the universe, in the DC universe.
He's the third smartest man in the world.
Yeah, and he gets enchanted with the power of the Spectre, essentially. Mm-hmm. And Spectre is super powerful and legitimately at certain points beat Superman's ass. So they have something going on here.
Yeah. That's a deep pull. I dig it a lot.
Yeah,
and then we're also getting Anthony Kerrigan. Anthony Kerrigan is Morpho, the Element Man.
Yeah, which is interesting. Element Man.
Sure. I mean, they're both bald.
I don't necessarily understand why they chose. I don't have anything against it. I don't understand the character more than I don't understand the actor. Let's go ahead and put that.
Right.
But maybe they're going to do something interesting with him, I guess.
Right. I mean, I really liked Anthony Kerrigan in Gotham. He was really, 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 really good. And Metamorpho is kind of an off the wall 60s character. Who is yelling at us?
Who's saying that?
I don't know. All right, so fool me once, shame on me. Fool me once, go fuck yourself. So yeah. Is the Iron Sheik on our Facebook? Is that what's happening?
We've returned from the dead to say go fuck yourself to this movie, apparently.
Oh, you know what it is? Oh no, it's the Kaiser. The Kaiser's watching us from home.
Oh.
that's the Gul Dagoon.
Oh, so you sit there and talk
shit what you're talking about. Yeah, not sure what you're talking about there, but if you want to chime in and share some more thoughts, we'd be happy to entertain them. So it's ought to be fun. I'm glad they finally have an adult in the room to kind of help man and create these stories for the DC EU.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it can't get worse, can it?
Probably not. They've had some real crap recently, and he's been the only one that I've enjoyed in the last couple of years. Because I loved Peacemaker, and I thought Suicide Squad was a hoot, as silly as it fucking was. So.
Oh, so there you go. The Kaiser says that I said that to my dog while we walk. It was like my sign off a while back. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, bud.
Did you know that Mark's? Yeah, you know what Mark's other catchphrase is? Context is for cowards. That's literally a lifestyle for him. So that's very
everything at random.
Very much. Oh yeah, super on brand. That's awesome. So Superman Legacy currently in production. Got some casting going on. Looks like some good stuff. We'll wait to see what happens.
Well, it's supposedly taking place after the reset of Flash, supposedly. So,
right. Well, I guess we'll see. All right, last and certainly not least, everyone's favorite monster is coming back. I absolutely love everything Godzilla, and there's a teaser trailer out for Toho Films Godzilla -1. If you're not aware, Toho Films is the studio that originally gave us Godzilla in 1954 and was continuing to make films all the way up through 2014. I think is the last one that I saw.
well, yeah, and the one they did in 2016 was the Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, 2016.
And that was kind of a modern approach to it.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, Godzilla versus the sea monster, Godzilla versus the sludge monster, Godzilla versus Gigan, Godzilla versus Mothra, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2. Never forget the roach people of Mechagodzilla 2. Many a Saturday afternoon watching Godzilla movies.
That sounds accurate.
Right. So these are the originals, the original studio doing it. The teaser trailer is there's no dialogue, but the text on the screen is completely in Japanese until you get to the end, and the narrator, female, says Godzilla -1, and that's all we have.
Yeah, this is taking us back essentially. This is not the Godzilla we've seen in Hollywood the last 8 years.
Correct.
This is taking it back to the original Godzilla, essentially. And they're more or less resetting the Godzilla timeline for
in this particular universe.
In the Toho Godzilla universe.
Right.
And it'll be right after, well, I don't know right after, but closely following World War II, essentially.
Right. The teaser trailer is a bunch of people running and screaming.
Yeah. Well, and it's dealing with the atomic fallout of World War II, and that's kind of how Godzilla was created originally.
Right. Yeah.
So that's kind of where the story seems to be taking place, is that they're going all the way back to that original time frame again.
Mm-hmm. It should be fun.
I'm going to get a kick out of it. I think it comes for the U.S. in December. I think.
Yep. And I absolutely hope and pray when I go see it in the theater, it's not subtitled, that it's fucking dubbed. Give me a dubbed English Godzilla movie with modern special effects, because I don't want subtitles for this. I'm a goddamn 1960s Godzilla purist, and I want this when they're talking about Godzilla. That's what I want.
Kung Fu movies.
Yes. The old Godzilla. Run! It's Godzilla. And they got a bunch of 80-year-old white guys in a room just doing the dialogue.
Oh my god!
And it's always the same 8 guys that are doing every single movie. And also the same 8 guys that did all the 1960s kung fu movies. Shaolin shadow boxing.
Who would they use?
I don't know.
Would they be using American actors in this content?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah.
Then I don't think we're going to be getting that movie, because this is a Japanese movie.
What do I mean? Well, you have the American people do the dubbing for American release. That's what I want. I know I'm not going to get it. I know it's going to be subtitled. But that, for 8-year-old me, that would be amazing. I would love every bit of that. I would go see that movie twice.
I mean, you can hope for the best. We'll see what they do, I guess.
I know. Maybe when they kick it out on Netflix, I'll watch it. I'll get it dubbed. Because they'll do it there.
Probably, yes.
I'm not going to be angry if it's subtitled, but I'm just saying that would sing to my little 8-year-old heart. I was watching just Godzilla.
I get that.
Versus Gigan.
That's fun.
Fucking movies are 70 years old. They still stand up. Don't tell me that they don't. That Toho also brought us. Okay, we're going to sidebar a minute here. Toho also brought us the greatest single most ridiculous monster fight in the history of ridiculous monster fights in Godzilla versus Gigan, I believe, when he was partnering up with what was going to be another franchise that never happened, but Jet Jaguar.
Oh shit! Yeah,
robot who used to grow, right? Ding, 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 and he would grow. kind of like an Ultraman looking thing. And Toho gave us the quarter-mile drop kick where Jet Jaguar's holding on to him, holding on to Gigan, like got his arms. Godzilla, like, he backs up really quick with little shuffly feet, and he starts running and he jumps and literally glides with his tail, with his feet out in front of him for a quarter mile and drop kicks Gigan right in the face. So good. It's so bad, it's good. So that's one of my all-time favorite memories.
You're hoping for something like that? Is that what you're looking for?
No, I'm just saying that's what
Toho
has done. I don't think they'll do it now. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's going to be anything for Godzilla to fight besides people. If this is going to be -1 and it's kind of an origin story, but come on, Toho gave us the magical roach people of Mechagodzilla 2. They would die, turn into roaches, then disappear.
Oh my!
You ever see any of those?
No. I've seen some of those old ones. Yes,
right.
I get what you're saying.
Right.
We might get some variation of that. You never know.
Yeah, I know. Like the sludge monster would fly over Tokyo and everybody would die because of all the toxic fumes. Just people would just keel over as he just flew over. Stupid sludge monster. And anti-pollution movie that it was. It was so good. All right. That was fun. Tank, final thoughts? You got anything you're looking at? Anything you're excited to see? Pimp the things, talk about the stuff.
I'm still waiting to go see Transformers Rise of the Beasts. I have not had a chance to get out of the house because everyone was sick this week. But I am still wanting to go see that and probably going to still go see that in the theater. And I'm looking to catch up on what I've missed so far with the Star Trek and Witcher series. Yep. So
for sure. Triffin says alien. I don't know. It's just the word alien.
As in the movie Alien?
I don't know. It's just one word, alien.
I loved that movie.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to screw up an alien movie.
I've seen it. Have you ever seen what was that?
3. No, 4. 4 was awful. Resurrection was terrible.
Yeah, there's been a couple of them actually that weren't great. But the first,
Resurrection was terrible. 3 was okay. It was more of a suspense. 4 was just a gross fest. It was
first 2 were cool.
First 2 were awesome.
But no. All right, we'll figure out what alien means and we'll get back to you on that.
He's typing, so before we're done, I'm sure we'll have an answer.
And yeah, you can catch us alternating weeks on Nerds That Know, and on the other weeks, my Brother is an Idiot podcast, where we talk about sports and other shenanigans. You can find me at Knox Nostalgic Collectibles on Facebook and Tank Knox on everything else.
There you go. Apparently, there's a new Alien movie that is in the can and releasing in 2024. That's what he's talking about. So we will tell you what, Triff, just for you, we will put that on the agenda.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now, we'll have a conversation.
Yep, absolutely. Because who doesn't love a good Alien movie? Make sure you Make sure you check us out on all of our socials. You can find the Nerds That Know everywhere. My Brother's an Idiot podcast has a Facebook page. Just search that and we'll get you in. You can also catch My Brother's an Idiot on Twitch and Twitter at the Idiot Goons. The absent Mark, his Twitter is at Poffeltime. My Twitch, Twitter, and Threads is at Puffalopagus. And as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, you can catch me on TikTok at King Goon Smoke. I don't know what I'm doing this weekend. I'm going to smoke something for sure. The wife's out of town, so I might get a little crazy.
Might get crazy with it?
Might get crazy.
Stuff a watermelon with a hog, or vice versa.
Put a hog up a watermelon's ass. Let's see how this tastes.
Take an entire pineapple and just shove it into a hog.
So, all right. So I have done something called a swine apple. Have you heard of this?
No.
So what you do is you core you know those pineapple cores that you twist and they cut into and they just make the circular rings, right? So you take one of those, you core out a pineapple. You get a bunch of pork, whether it's like loin or country style spare ribs or whatever, and you wrap the pineapple around it, and then you wrap that whole fucker in bacon.
Okay, so
brush that fucker in sauce, and then throw that in the smoker. It's called a swine apple.
So are you taking the pineapple flesh?
Yes.
Or the core of the pineapple that you cored out?
No, you take the rings.
rings,
So the
okay.
rings that you've created, yeah, with the twisty
Okay.
thing. You buy those $5 twisty
Yeah.
things
I didn't
at
know
the
if you were
grocery
shoving
store,
it
right?
into the pineapple flesh, like with the spiky part still attached to it.
No, you
Okay.
take the rings. So you're taking the meat and you wrap that around whatever pork you want. I've done it with country style spare ribs, and I've done it with the full loin and just wrapped it around it. Then you just wrap that whole sumbitch in bacon, tie it up with twine and brush it with barbecue sauce and smoke it. It tastes really good. The problem with that is that pineapple has an enzyme in it that breaks down meat, so the pork gets mushy. So there's still some more work to be done there, but they look fantastic. I'll send you a picture. Right. I did a swine. There's a swine apple in my history.
I would like to see that.
I have pictures. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
All right.
There you go. All right. So make sure you before I do that, for the absent Duchess and the Kaiser, we hope you guys rest up and feel better. And we'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Make sure you take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and take care of each other. This has been the Nerds That Know. We'll catch you next time.